The most frustrating thing for a photographer in the beginning of their journey is to look at amazing photos made by others and to understand that he's not there yet. You want your photos to look amazing too. Not someday, not in 10 years, but as soon as possible. And the question is, how do you get there faster? And today we will try to focus exactly on that. My first tip to get better faster would be narrow down your interest. As narrow your focus is, the less you need to spread your attention, which makes it easier to master the skill required to stand out. In every photography niche, there are different subgenres, and you will be surprised how many of them. In street photography, for example, there is a graphical street, moment-driven photography, flash photography, juxtaposition, and many more. So do your homework, learn these subgenre photography styles in the niche you feel attracted to, and choose one to your liking, and go all in on that one. Choosing one of them and focusing your attention on it will help you greatly to master it and develop faster. But this suggestion comes with precaution. Choose a niche that is talking to you, something that reflects who you are and something you can stick for it for an extended period of time. If you choose graphical street because it's easier to capture, but you are actually passionate about people interaction and like moment-driven photography, you will quickly feel bored, and that would be counterproductive for your fast growth. If you went for something that is not you, at some point you will need to pivot. Your natural tendencies will find you sooner or later. And I know it because I went the long way. I didn't niche down and it took me ages to get where I am. I experimented with any photography coming my way until my natural tendencies started to direct me to the photography I'm doing today. I'm still not bound by a particular niche, but I can see recurring patterns of what attracts me and what is the typical type of photography I'm doing. But this is a very long way. It can take 10 or more years to get somewhere. And we are here to speed things up. So if you want to go faster, niche down. My second tips to you would be to shoot regularly and as often as you can. If you want to learn and understand photography quicker, you need to be borderline obsessed. Think about photography all the time. When you're outside, look around and search for things that drive your attention. And don't worry about not having a camera, just capture things with your eyes or your phone. I call these photos visual notebook ideas. I saw it, I capture it, and now I remember it. The important thing is to just look around and try to see more. And there is nothing like practice to speed things up. You can dream about having a beautiful six-pack. You can read about having a six-pack. You can spend hundreds of hours watching YouTube videos on how to train to get a six-pack. But that six-pack will not form by itself. You need to go there and put the hours to get it. I could give you hundreds of different examples from different areas of life. But the core idea is the same. You are the one who has to do the actual work. And you are responsible for the speed of that progress. So if you want to get better in photography faster, make sure that you photograph a lot. My third tip, and I mentioned that one in many of my videos because it's a very important one, be on top of your camera settings and know how to change them quickly and naturally. Think of managing your camera settings like driving a car. You signal, you steer the wheel, change gears without putting too much extra thought into it. Your relationship with your camera needs to be the same. You need to be able to look at a captured photograph and know right away what is the issue. The avoidance of learning your gear costs you. It costs you in time of mastering the craft of photography. It slows you down, and as longer you drag it, it will slow you down longer. So if there is anything in your camera that is unclear to you, open YouTube, type in the search bar the thing that you don't understand and your camera model, and it's very likely that there will be a video there that will help you overcome that issue. So do that. Apart from knowing your camera, you need to know the base settings for the photography that you like to do, which shutter speed to use or what aperture is the best for the particular situation. There are many repeating situations, and in this situation, you can use similar settings. With time and experience, you will remember them. You need to learn how to control your exposure, your autofocusing system, and understand how aperture and distance from your subject affect depth. I have a small cheat sheet with a lot of these settings listed for your convenience. You can download them in the description of the video below. It is a part of Street Photography Toolkit and something that a lot of photographers use with a lot of benefit. And it has some other perks that can help you on your journey. After you have niched down and mastered your camera and you know which settings to use, it's now time to put your effort into learning composition. Composition is the way you organize elements in your frame. It's your way to emphasize your subject. It's your way to present your idea in such a way that the viewer simply gets it. It is very often that images are simply unclear. You look at it and you can't understand what is the meaning behind the photograph. What is the purpose of such a photograph? The photograph should carry a meaning. The camera and the settings, they're just your tools to capture the image, but composition is the visual language that you need to learn to speak so that the thing that you tried to capture can be represented in an understandable way for the viewer. Composition is something vast, and it can take years to master it until it becomes intuitive. But you can grasp the basics if you learn the theoretical aspect of it. The theory will help you to understand what are the visual components of the scene and how to organize them. You might not be able to naturally see it yet, but it will be easier to you to analyze a photo after you have captured it, and with some practice and repetition, you will start seeing these compositional patterns. I have a class that I do once in a while where I cover the core compositional principles, which can help you grow faster. There is also a whole playlist of videos on my channel on the subject of composition that has many tips, so if you are in the beginning of your journey, I would start with that one. Compositional journey is good, but it requires another skill to be developed in you, and it's your eye. You need to learn to look at the street with a photographic eye, being able to take a larger scene and break it down into little pieces to analyze what's there and what you want to include and exclude from your photograph. The keen eye will help you construct better and more meaningful images. It will turn that street that is ordinary for everyone into a visual playground. Becoming a good photographer is seeing something interesting in often overlooked mundane scenes. Everybody can see the extraordinary. A properly developed eye sees a scene in a different way. It sees lines, it sees shapes, it sees different geometrical figures, colors, and light. And when all that the eye sees meets with well-developed compositional skills, you can create magic. I will add to that something else. When you're photographing something, work on your scene. Don't just take one shot and move on. Let me give you an example. I was photographing an event in the Ethiopian Christian Orthodox Church community a few days ago, and I have noticed a corner where several priests were standing. First, I photographed all of them standing together, and then I started to dissect the scene into pieces, 2 people, single portrait, trying to compose the scene in different ways. I photographed them for several minutes and took different shots from different angles. And when you're looking at the images, it could look like I was photographing different scenes throughout the whole event. But the truth is that all these are from one little corner, photographed in just 2 or 3 minutes. It was very easy to go there, do a click and carry on. But my persistent and working the scene brought me more images that I can show for later on. Doing that teaches you to work more effectively and of course benefits your faster progress. So next time, don't just click once and go away. Take your time to explore and learn how the same scene will look taken from different angles and then split the scene into various smaller pieces. Most photographers don't work on the scene, they take a few shots and run to the next big thing, and their progress is slower. My next tip would be around imitation. The nature of my work meets me with photographers all the time, and the ones who develop the fastest are the ones who first copy. Yes, copy. They take the step to break down and understand the image that they like, then try to capture a similar image by themselves. By doing that, you're gaining practical experience and glimpse into the thinking process of another photographer. That practical experience will help you greatly in your own photography. This is also where it's good to suggest looking at work you admire. But not only looking, trying to understand how it is done is very important, and later challenge yourself to imitate these shots that speak to you. And if it makes you feel like a copycat, just don't post them. Do them, but keep them to yourself. Learn from them and apply the knowledge in your own photography. To that I'll add, analyze your own work. Every photo that didn't work is actually a free lesson for you. When you look at an image that isn't working, don't just delete it. Ask yourself, what is the reason that this doesn't work? Was it a technical issue? Did I miss focus? Did I mess up with the exposure? Is my composition not working? Or perhaps there is nothing really interesting happening there. It often happens that photographers are searching for a compositional or technical solution to simply a boring photo. But the truth is that a boring photo is boring. You can't engineer your way out of it. Just search for something more interesting next time. But the bottom line to all this is that you need to always know what you didn't like in the image. Becoming your own self-critic will help shape what you like in photography. And if sometimes you feel that you don't have the answer, ask someone more experienced. In my photography community, we do that all the time. We post images to get feedback and understand what didn't work. This next one really depends on the type of photography you do. But as most of you who follow my channel are doing street photography, this tip will be for you. Conquer your fears of photographing strangers. There are a few styles of photography that you can avoid photographing people. But in most cases, photographers do want to get better at photographing people. To do so, you will have to learn and get comfortable photographing strangers. It is frightening and takes a lot from you to do the first step. And it's not a one-day solution, but if you work on this, it is definitely possible to gradually get better with it. And I have a video that can help you with that as well. Check out the suggested videos to watch in the description. My number 9 would be, do not afraid to interact with other photographers. I know that a lot of us are introverted and we are often walking around the street just by ourselves, and then when we see other photographers, we feel shy to approach. But I can tell you for sure that there is no better community in the world than the street photography community. And you should engage in conversations and ask questions. You'll be surprised how often photographers are willing to share their experience and help you on your own way. It is not unusual to meet your mentor from just a simple conversation. Don't be shy to interact with people you follow and like their work online. Some of them might be happy to interact and help. And here is a word of advice. Don't ask these photographers gear questions. Ask them questions that will help you understand their thinking process, not their camera settings. Camera settings aren't the ones taking the shot. It's always the mindset and the vision of the photographer. But the most important is that believe that you can make it. One of the biggest stoppers in the creative journey is that destructive talk of I'm not good enough. You could accept that you are not good enough yet, but you can definitely get much better. No one is born a superstar photographer. It is a journey. We're all on the path of learning. Some are the beginning, some are in the middle, some others are further away. There is no final goal here. Just enjoy what photography brings into your life. I don't know what is fast for you, but from my experience, if you work hard, you can start bringing decent images within the first year of your photography. And if you're consistent and apply the said above, within 3 years you can already be very good. At the end, it all depends on you. Happy shooting and see you next time.